last night because some people were upset when Kairi originally won the IWGP Women's title. Some people were really upset that Kairi was the one to win.
Yeah.
And I think that's why Kairi won. They knew Mercedes was coming in and Mercedes was going to be the one to take the title. I think
this was the perfect setup.
And so I think
it was the right way to go.
The one, it sucks because that was only Kairi's second defense last night. She's only defended the title twice. It was at at Wrestle Kingdom, and then last night. And Mercedes obviously showed up after the match at Wrestle Kingdom. That lasted like 7 minutes. But last night's match, I did not officially time it, but I kept an eye on when it started and when it stopped, and they went almost 27 minutes. They were the longest match of the night. So I hope that that's a really good sign with how New Japan is going to book the women, at least in America. I hope that that's a sign of things to come. I hope they're going to put them higher on the card. Mercedes did win the title last night, which was, expected. But it was still, nonetheless, it was still a really great moment. The match, they got tables in this match.
Nice.
And I watched a clip of Mercedes talking after the match, and she was like, Kairi gave me the fight of my life. She almost snatched me bald. I lost all the nails on my left hand. She nearly kicked my face off. She was she was like, what the line that I love was, I'm not a quitter, I'm a moneymaker. And I was like, talk your shit.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Talk your shit, Mercedes. It was, but yeah, the women was really great. And I hope that I don't know what they're going to do with Kairi in this situation with, because obviously she's still doing Stardom stuff. So I don't know how this is going to work exactly. And I don't know who will be the first person to challenge Mercedes. That's really interesting to see. Because I assume so I don't know if hopefully she'll be on the Impact show. She has hinted at wrestling Mickie James. That's somebody she's always wanted to wrestle. Mickie, I think, wants the match as well. So they could do that. I don't know if the title would be on the line. They're both champions. So I don't know if they would do that, but then so she's probably going to defend it in DC and in Philadelphia. I would assume she's going to defend the title both nights because people are paying to see her. So I'm really interested to see what they do with her. Brad said last night was Kathy's first time seeing Mercedes, but she was more into Kairi. She loves Japanese women's wrestling. Hey, I get it. Kairi's amazing. Kairi's awesome. I love her.
I mean, you're exposing her to really good wrestling too. So she's allowed to have a good, that way she gets a broad base and she can have her own opinions.
Dazzler says, is New Japan going to be signing women or just bringing them in for one shots? I think they're going to be using Stardom women. It's going to be.
Is it Bushiroad or TBSI? One of those two Bushiroad. That is the own. They own Stardom now.
Yes, Bushiroad. It's Bushiroad that does, and so that I think it's.
And that's they
could potentially bring women in, but I think it's going to be Stardom women is who she's going to be wrestling, and then she's named a couple of wrestlers outside of Stardom that she wants to wrestle in Japan, which I think they'll make happen.
I think that they can. I mean, they have relationships with Impact, right? And they have relationships with New Japan or with AEW. So
and then with AEW,
make the rounds.
Yeah, and even with AEW. There's Ring of Honor, so then you have
of course.
So then you have technically Athena
because
she's the champion. You've got Serena Deeb will probably be over there. They've been booking Trisha Dora, so she could do it. Trisha Dora she wrestled in TJPW a few weeks ago. So it seems like they probably have a plan laid out for her of who she'll be facing. Penelope was in DDT Pro. And she won the Ironman, the Ironman heavyweight championship. I believe the tweet that I saw is she is the 1557th champion. It was the clip was great because Kip was talking and the champion came by and he was like, Penelope. And he whispered in her ear and he calls the champion back and he's like, oh, how did you win the belt? And, all this stuff. And Penelope goes and gets a referee and pins her. And then she's running down the hall and you hear Kip yelling, run, Penelope, run. So That was really great. And so I don't know if she'll drop it before she comes back. But yeah, so I think with the Stardom side, so I mean they could bring in women, but I think it's gonna be Stardom because
I think it's gonna be Stardom women. I would imagine.
It's a champion. It's a title basically for between both companies, because Stardom said it's not replacing like their top titles, but it is a title that could potentially be defended on Stardom shows. So I think she'll do some shows here in America, and then I think she'll go back to Japan and probably compete there and defend the title there, is what it sounds like is the plan for that, which is really great. And so that's what I said earlier when all of this was happening, that Mercedes feels like she's on the verge of a breakthrough and of doing really huge things. And if she can bring, more American eyeballs to Japanese wrestling, I think that's a really good thing. And if she's bringing more, she's already starting to bring in more eyes for New Japan. Like there were people last night who were watching and they were counting down like 5 more matches till Mercedes. 4 more matches. Like they were counting down for Mercedes, and that doesn't happen in New Japan really. Like, I mean, obviously there's those of us who do love it and we watch it all the time and we watch together. But last night was a show kind of felt like Wrestle Kingdom. Like a lot of people were watching together and they it was really cool to see. And Mercedes is a part of that. And I think that is a really big deal. And I hope that they book her like that, where she is bringing in, they understand that she's bringing in eyeballs, she's bringing in money, she's bringing in this type of stuff. And Daza said, the reason I brought the show was for the women's match. And Daza, I saw quite a few people say that last night. And so New Japan is smart to sign her, and whatever her deal is,
whatever their deal is right now,
whatever. The point is, they brought her in, and then they belted her, and she helped them move tickets, and they put her in a prominent position last night. Will they get to main event? I don't know. I mean, it's still New Japan. They are obviously they're not gonna main event over the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. I think
they've made it pretty clear that nothing will ever main event over the IWGP.
Listen, how many years has Hiramo been trying to get the Super Juniors to main event Wrestle Kingdom? That's been his thing for like three Wrestle
years now. Yeah, he's still on it. He still does.
And they should, but New Japan is very New Japan, and they're going to do things their way. So Sean says, in my opinion, Sasha is the female equivalent to CM Punk in WWE's eyes / perspective. She valued herself more than the company did, and for her better or worse, she was willing to risk it all and to do it her way. Exactly, Sean. And so far, it appears to be paying off.
Last night was a success, and that's another.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a friendly crowd. She was going in there where she was. That was a crowd that was going to be
pop for her when her music hit was huge, and then
it was going to be a crowd that was like. I mean, they were, of course, everyone was going to be rooting for her, so it was kind of like she had to go in there and just prove them right.
Right, she did. She more than proved them right, and